welcome
to another episode
of the Scratchy Voices podcast. my vocal fry is really terrible because my voice is still a bit hoarse.
Sore, yeah. I mean, you were at Watch Week for 5 days.
Yeah, and so many things happened.
I was only there for 2. Yeah. And after 2, I wanted to take a very long nap, so...
Yeah. And we didn't even go to all of the parties, right? I mean, obviously you had to drive home, which is a long way, and so you couldn't drink anything anyways. But I took a taxi on public transport, so taxis actually.
Und the Autobus.
Und the Autobus, yes. The Metro. The Straßenbahn. So it was it was really, really nice. And there were a lot of parties every evening. You know, I was tempted to go to some more of these parties or just go home to my wife and dogs and just chill a bit and download all of the stuff that I recorded during the day and the pictures and all of this stuff. But it was an absolute amazing time. I say this every time. It was hard to imagine it can get any better, but the Dubai Watch Week has managed to absolutely pile it on, and it was so much better.
But they do this every time.
Man. I mean, so much bigger, so much nicer. Provisions were made for everything. I mean, even that for everybody had free water everywhere, right? So if it's important, right, that you don't
have to hydrate. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yes. Especially because it was a bit hot in the first 1 or 2 days.
Later on,
it became a bit more better, but still during some midday heat. So everybody could get some water everywhere. Of course, in the big stands, there was a lot of stuff happening as well. So you could always have a coffee or water there. You could buy that, of course, if you wanted to, but water. And for our European guests, sparkling water was available as well. Can you imagine that?
I can. Now, all right, before we get into what happened at Watch Week, because we'll go, this is we gave you last week a nice little introduction to what happened on the first day. We are now going to give you the rest of it all in one now that we've had some time to think about it and reflect on what has happened. But before we get there, I think it is customary to do a wristwatch check. So we start with that. So what are you wearing?
So I am wearing, and that's pretty cool. It is my, now I have to show it to you somewhat, my Hakuna Mipaka special edition black leopard. And I have put this on this nice waxed leather strap from Öl. You know, the one local manufacturer, not OptoWatch, but the other one that we have. And they have this brand name for these.
I can't see because you're sharing your screen.
Oh.
So you can...
you can only see one, not the other.
It's one or the other.
You can do still both.
No, you can see both, but the problem is you're tiny and this is huge.
Then I stop sharing.
There you go.
Öl.
Öl.
Or Öl. In German, Öl meets oil. So that's a pretty funny. And anyhow, so this is from Vercours strap. This strap is super nice, super soft. And this combination, when I showed this to Toby Küffer, he's the vice president for sales for Norcane, he said like, wow, this looks very cool. Let me show this to my team. And then somebody even took it away to take a picture of it because they thought this will makes the watch so different because it came with this. It
does, yeah.
Which I thought was velour, the strap. Mm-hmm, but it's actually a full rubber strap made by BV. BV, the company that makes watches and straps for Richard Mille. So they have extremely good supplies. In the interview, we are going into that as well because I was so surprised about this. So they have this, and then this actually, the fur that I thought was velour and flocked onto it is actually the strap itself. They made a furry rubber strap.
All right.
That is incredible. Anyhow, so I still put it on the leather strap because that looks a bit more rugged. So
yes,
what are you wearing?
I am wearing my Speedmaster Moonwatch Professional Hesalite, previous generation, 1861.
Right.
And I have not used. I should run the chronograph just for the sake of running it, because I never run it.
Yeah.
And now I'm gonna forget that it's running, and then tomorrow morning I'll notice that the second hand is not at 0.
Yeah.
But once in a while, it's like with a 4-wheel drive car. You kind of just got to put it in 4-wheel drive, go through the low range gearbox, just kind of get everything working once in a while. And so when I wear this one, I start the chronograph just for the sake
And
of it.
it's always that every wheel turns every now and then. So that's just like, I think Philippe Dufour and others said this as well, and all of the big watchmakers. It's like, run your watch at least once a month for a couple of days. I mean, wind it up,
Fully.
He
and
says
then
this
let it
about his
disappear.
own simplicity, for example. Wind it up fully at least once a month. Don't let it sit in a safe for years, and just have it run.
I don't have enough watches for that to be a problem. So for me, this is no issue.
No, I using my wrist track app, sometimes I feel that, there's a watch that I haven't worn in 2 months or so. Then,
Meanwhile, speaking of wrist track app, I mentioned a couple, I don't know how many months ago, I'd re-downloaded it. I lost my data, but I didn't care. I said, let's start fresh with the current collection, and I haven't added or sold anything since then, so it's quite nice. So it's a very accurate depiction of, in this amount of time, what has happened, right? Because if you have a watch that's brand new, you add it in, obviously it's not going to be worn the same amount as the other stuff. Although there's a new update with the wrist track app, and now you can sort by date. So you can see a specific calendar or a specific amount of wearing between 2 dates. So let's say you do get a watch, then you can say, okay, I only want to see the data after September 1st.
Right.
And then it shows you the counts of each watch from September 1st, which is, I think, a very neat thing. But point of my story is, my daughter said she wants the app because she wants to keep track of what watches she's wearing. So now I downloaded it for her yesterday.
So again, your daughter is what?
She's
7?
now 8.
8.
Turning 9. So she has she has 10 watches actually now, including the Apple Watch. So I asked her, do you want to add the Apple Watch to it as well? And she said yes. She wants to know how often she wears the Apple Watch as well. So she is now going to start this whole thing, and we'll see which watch she wears the most. But she's very good at rotating watches. So amazing. I'm very surprised by this. She doesn't even with the Apple Watch, right? She doesn't just wear her Apple Watch, because for those of you that remember back, my story was I got her, I think she was 1 year old. I got her a Flick Flack.
Mm-hmm.
And then after the Flick Flack, which had numbers for the minutes and the hours.
Yeah.
And I told her when she was able to tell the time on this, I would get her a clock or a watch that had no numbers whatsoever. So that was the next step. And then I said, when she was able to tell the time on that at any given point, I would get her a digital watch. So she's gone through all of them. And now to the point where on her Apple Watch right now, she put the analog clock face with no numbers. So it's quite nice, because I think her generation, there's no way these people are going to be able to tell the time. Analog time. So it's quite rare these days.
I had recently a YouTube video or Instagram reel was shared with me in Germany, where the person goes up the street and asks people to tell the time on an analog watch, a big watch that he had on a flip chart. And it was, of course, obviously they only show the people who failed, not only to put the right time onto this watch face, but also to tell what time it was. And you can't believe that there are adult people nowadays, who cannot read an analog watch face. And I thought I was just completely, I thought it was fake first, because I thought it's impossible that this is actually happening. But then there you go. It
is. It is possible.
If that's the case, then I'm not surprised that some people in the watch industry are a bit freaked out. People cannot read it anymore and think it's just like, oh, what's going on? Yeah.
Now, that being said,
Yeah.
Let's talk about Dubai Watch Week. How it
Don't
went.
yawn. It went
I'm
fantastic.
tired of your story. No, I'm just kidding.
My story, I didn't even tell anything.
No, just joking.
It's coming up.
No, but seriously, we're going to talk about what's happened, kind of giving you a step-by-step of the 5 days of Dubai Watch Week. I will, of course, lead you through the first 2 days, or we'll talk about the first 2 days with Ralph. And then Ralph will talk about the rest of the 3 days that I couldn't attend, which it literally ended 2 days ago from the time of us recording this.
Yeah.
And also, we do have a list of interviews that we will talk about as well. Those will be coming later. This year, we've decided to release those in specific episodes when the topic is relevant to the interview.
Yes.
So that's the plan.
So you will see coming a couple of interviews over the next couple of episodes, maybe even until next year. But it is really, really worth it. Some of these interviews I thought, I haven't back listened yet to them. But while I was interviewing people in our little interview pods, I was really, really thinking, wow, that is really good. This is going to be exciting for you guys. So let's see how you like it. So while we are talking, we are going through a couple of photos just to remind us what happened. Obviously, lots of wrist shots. One observation I had about the entirety of Dubai Watch Week, and I just wanted to talk about this generic or general things first, was the lack of Rolex watches on people's wrist.
Not only the lack of Rolexes, I would say I didn't even go into the Rolex booth, which is mind-blowing.
Yes.
I honestly, I didn't care. I didn't care enough to go in, and I didn't.
Yeah, but the thing is, with Rolex, there's nothing new to see, right?
That's
there
the
is
reason
a
I didn't go
history,
in.
which is super interesting if you haven't seen it before. But, they always have some special models, special one-offs. Did you know that Mr. Siddiqui, Hamid Siddiqui, Hamid, right? Hamid.
Yes.
Yeah. I got a one-of-one from Rolex.
Yes, I do know this. And it says
piece unique.
75 years on the back. And apparently it says
it's a day date.
It is a day date, puzzle dial day date, with the emojis.
Yeah.
And it says grateful in the day window in Arabic.
Oh. Yeah, because Jean-Frédéric Dufour has... did you listen to the first...
I did not.
You did not. Okay, I did already.
No.
That's the benefit of walking dogs. You have always some pockets of time where your ears are free. And I listened to it, and it's really, really nice. It's really charming. And it's also very interesting. I mean, you don't hear the CEO of Rolex talking very often, so giving interviews. And it was a very nice interview, very kind. It's a great history lesson as well. Mr. Siddiqui talking about how he went to Geneva and didn't even have clothes for the cold weather at the time, right? And then the then head of Rolex provided him or went with him shopping for some overcoats so that he doesn't freeze. And how he, after studying, went to work for Bucherer for a while, which is like an apprenticeship to a certain extent, and they put him in charge of cuckoo clocks. Had to clean them, and and he said, I wasn't in charge of selling cuckoo clocks. I was just in charge of getting people to the cuckoo clock, right? So just if somebody inquired about a cuckoo clock, it's like he escorted them there. Until then, of course, as the only Arabic speaker, he eventually went into looking after the VIPs, the princes, and the kings from different countries that were Arabic speaking, because he was the only Arabic speaking person.
So this was back in
Geneva,
like 1950s,
back in the 60s or so.
No, it was 75 years of Siddiqui would put us at 1950.
His father founded Siddiqui. He is not.
Oh, it wasn't him. I thought it was him.
No, his father.
Okay. So it was before his time. Okay, I understand. Yeah. Which is pretty cool then, that they sent him to do this.
And when he came back from all of this, his father said, well, I don't have a job for you here. So he worked for the foreign ministry in Abu Dhabi, Foreign Affairs Ministry. And then eventually, after 6 months, his father said, well, now I have a job for you. So come back. It's really absolutely insane. Just normal, humble upbringings and how that all worked out. And now there's this big, this immense conglomerate in watches and other industries there. It's fantastic. Yeah,
all right, so we're off topic again, but let's talk about what we did during 2x1.
So that there is not so many Rolexes, and we didn't want to go into the Rolex store in the beginning.
And not just that, we couldn't go to this talk either. It was not allowed. It was a closed talk. It was a panel discussion, or not even a panel discussion. It was a discussion between the CEO of Rolex and the CEO of Siddiqui Watches.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that was it. Yeah. So there was just a talk, and it was video cast. And we weren't able to actually physically go there and watch. Otherwise, we would have.
And Waco was as usual. Yeah, he was the moderator, I think. As always, Waco is everywhere. And again, Waco, lovely gentleman. Always a pleasure to talk to. And everybody.
Speaking of, his show started, by the way, in case for those of you that don't know.
Yes, Man of the Hour.
The Hour, which I need to find somewhere.
Started on the manofthehour.tv if you're looking for it. The problem is it only airs on Discovery Channel. It did air on the Middle Eastern Discovery Channel on the 22nd of November, and there will be, I think, 8 episodes. The problem is I could not find it anywhere online. I'm happy to pay for it, obviously, but there is no way of watching it on demand or so, except on the Discovery Channel. And I don't have the Discovery Channel, I think. I think my TV receiver is broken, but I don't even know because I never switch on TV. Everything's online.
This is the issue, isn't it? And I don't think I can watch back from.
There are repeats on the website. You can see that it will be repeated a few times, and the timings are actually on the website of when it will be airing.
Yeah,
the first episode. So you can find it out there, but it's really tough because you need to, how are you going to watch it? I mean, I have to drive to your place in LA and to watch it then, which is a bit sad.
I will do some looking through online and see if I can find. Apparently, there's lots of discussions. Anybody able to find it online? Blah blah blah. So I'll do some.
I don't think so far. So we saw some independent watches. By the way, we have to also mention that there wasn't only Dubai Watch Week. There was also Time Zones, right? Which was a micro and independent brand exhibition in the Armani Hotel ballroom at the same time. For 2 days, there was an overlap. I think Friday, Saturday was when it was there. I went there as well. It was excellent, a lovely show. If you don't know Dubai Watch Week, that by itself was already a pretty cool show. Also free entry. Again, Dubai Watch Week also completely free.
Everything free, by the way.
Everything free. Everything free. The master classes, everything was free, except of course food. If you went to any of the food outlets or restaurants,
you have to snack. You have to be logical about this. You go to the boutique or wherever, you look at some watches, and soon enough somebody will bring you a little hors d'oeuvre.
Canapes, cookies, or cake, or whatever.
And by the way, the wait staff, regardless of where we went, very quickly found out that I hadn't eaten all day and I was going to eat all the hors d'oeuvres. And they kept bringing them straight to me.
They felt like, oh my God, poor guy. Here, eat more.
I don't think it was that. I think it was more like this guy again, like he's going to eat some more of this.
No, he's just like, okay, here's a taker. At least
I stood where they would go in to the door, back to the kitchen. And if there was anything left on the plate, then I would just take those, because obviously he's going back to the kitchen anyway, right? It's much better to take an empty plate.
Yeah, that's true. So we went. One of the things that we did was, of course, go to the AP thing. But I think we talked about this in the first episode.
We talked about the first episode, so we can kind of glimpse through this. If you haven't heard us about the first day, we talked about this in the previous episode.
But again, just looking at all of the exhibits that we had there, all of the beautiful things that we saw, the old watches when AP was really an haute horlogerie company, which did a lot of complications and all of this stuff. I mean, they still do, but it was just a bit of a different story, right? To a certain extent. They had some amazing pieces there that you do not at all consider when you think about Audemars Piguet, right? So it was really, really nice. Yeah. So here we see ourselves walking into the vault. They had, I mean, the experience was incredible, right? I mean, you have no idea what's going on inside the huge AP pavilion from the outside. And it was really fantastic what you saw. So we had, I don't know how many millions of euros worth of watches inside there. All the special ones.
I would say more than millions of euros, because I think some of these are millions by themselves.
Yeah. Then we had specific pieces, like, for example, this watch. It was supposed to be from an illustrious German owner who actually
I know this one.
I know this one. Watch black, the Royal Oak.
So
I know this one as well.
Story goes, Karl Lagerfeld got an AP Royal Oak, a jumbo, and then he colored the whole thing black. And then as he wore it, the black chipped off.
Yeah.
And it would show the silver underneath it, which super cool.
It looks cool. And it looks like a nice worn jeans, basically. It's really, really.
It does. It reminds me of if you're your YouTubers. Casey Neistat had this with his Ray-Ban glasses.
Yes.
He would always put white around the inside of the lenses, because one time he was shooting a video in the salt flats of wherever, Nevada or wherever it was, and apparently he was filming and had his head out the window, and the salt was being pummeled at him, and he had his black Ray-Ban Wayfarers, and in the crevices of the lenses, in the extreme portions, it built up this white circle, and that's apparently, and now he tried to recreate this, so he paints the lens white, and then he scratches off the middle, only leaving the very outline of the white. So much the same.
Okay.
and AP tried to do the same thing with this watch. They tried to release a PVD coated, I think it was PVD, or I don't know what they made it out of, but they did try to make a black.
Okay.
Okay. I don't know if it was a ceramic or if it was PVD, but they did make a black AP Royal Oak to kind of commemorate this one.
I do know there are ceramic versions. Yeah, so we have some with paintings. Then we had this absolutely freaking amazing new Tourbillon RD5, right?
Yes,
which is not only extremely thin. It's a Royal Oak chronograph with a tourbillon. It's not only super thin because they can, but it also has this absolutely new technology that they have, 50 million patents on, to have these pushers being so I mean, you have to just push them to understand what it is. It's like a Casio G-Shock where you just press and you hear a beep or something. In this case, you hear a tactile click, and it just uses the energy, even if it only runs for a second or two. It builds up some energy and releases when you press the button. It doesn't matter if you start, stop, or reset, or you use a flyback or whatever. It's insane. It feels like it's electronic, but it's not.
Yeah, it has absolutely zero purpose, but it's super cool. Like it is very cool.
But when I had my current version of the Royal Oak offshore chronograph with me, and that has a flyback chronograph, and pressing the button compared to pressing that button felt like a crank when you had to, start your car with a crank, or using a push button. I mean, so literally, that's a difference from the pressing of the button.
We can also argue that now we're moving away from the mechanical. It's the equivalent of having a Tesla versus a proper petrol
but because this is still entirely done mechanically,
but
right?
it's like a fake Tesla.
But it's like the
like a Prius.
Yeah, it's a mechanically made Tesla.
It's mechanical, but it's super weird. Like it just doesn't feel right.
No, it feels amazing.
It feels digital, but it's not.
Yeah, and the coolest thing about this is, I think, they also used as a counterbalance to this modernity that you have a tourbillon, and you have the logo, because it's a special model, the RD5 for the 150th anniversary. You have Audemars Piguet in the historic logo. So in cursive.
And the
cursive
world's
font.
ugliest polished bezel.
You think?
Why not?
You think?
Yeah, I hate
I like
polished
it.
bezels.
I mean, I just look at the picture on it on my wrist because I tried it on, of course. I love it, but I think it's a bit too expensive.
It needs to be brushed like this one.
So yeah, the next one I'm looking at
always be brushed.
is a watch that somebody wore who was a guest there, I think.
A guest here.
Or is this
on our podcast?
That's mine. No, is this my hand? I don't even know.
Yes,
is it my
this
hand?
is your. Is that you? Do you have a shirt that looks like that?
Yeah, that was my my jacket. Yes. So I'm wearing this incredible solid gold, rose gold, royal oak skeleton.
Yep, which was worn by our friend Julian, who was here on the podcast. We have two Julians on the podcast. This is French Julian, not South African Julian.
Did you know that the Ranger? I checked the next day because we went in the first episode after Dubai Watch Week. We explained that we actually went to the boutique to see if it's available, and it was available. And they said they have about 15 pieces for each model. Right?
We didn't say this. Hold on.
You're
getting ahead of yourself. No,
we talked about Ranger,
because we recorded before we left for the party. Now, two things: is Julian Swiss or is he French? Because I called him French. Then Swiss, I think. French. Yeah, doesn't matter.
At least he lived in Switzerland. That's for sure.
Yeah. So we went. We mentioned this. We saw the new Tudor Ranger. Blah blah blah, and then we recorded our podcast. And then after the podcast, we had a Breguet event in Dubai Mall. So we got on our little feet and we trudged all the way to Dubai Mall to see this Breguet event, which we stayed at for approximately 3 minutes before we left the Breguet event to walk around the mall.
No, we didn't. 3 minutes. It was longer.
Yeah, it was more like 5 or 6. But we felt it was a better time spent if we walked around the mall. So we walked, did our usual laps.
I disagree with that. It was pretty interesting at Breguet to see a person actually sitting on a rose turning engine and literally creating a guilloche dial. I mean,
he wasn't doing it when I was there.
Well, I was there at the same time and he was doing it in front of me. So I don't know what.
No, when I was there was somebody putting their drink on the rose engine machine.
No.
And then they got.
No. There were also two
somebody said
rose
you
engine
shouldn't do
machines.
that.
I don't know which one you looked at. I was on the one where this person actually made a rose. I have a video to prove it. And it was pretty impressive. I mean, to see how. I mean, really, you need the expertise. You need to master this with your hands, and you need a lot of feeling in your fingertips to have the right pressure and the right movement and the right speed and all of this stuff. It was pretty intense. Anyhow, we are going back to Tudor. We went there.
Yes.
They had this one model available in 36.
So before we said this, as a joke, we walked past Tudor and I said, ha, wouldn't it be funny if they had the new Tudor? And then Ralph's like, nah, there's no point to go in. They're not going to have it. Let's keep going. And then we walked through the mall after the Breguet thing, and then we stopped into Tudor. And sure enough, they had in the window the white Tudors. And I'm like, are these available? And they said, yes, absolutely. They're available to purchase right now.
Yep.
Which was super weird.
Yeah. So next day, we asked Cole Pennington, right?
Yes, and Cole Pennington said there was 15 pieces they brought with them of all the different variants, I guess. And what was there, and that was it. So
and
if it sold
another
out,
day later, I checked, and they were all sold out.
Yeah. So I figured there was enough people
30 watches
to be
sold.
buying this.
There you go.
15 in white, 15 in black. But
also in both color sizes, 36 and 39. The white one as well.
So then,
15, 15.
Are you sure? I thought it was 15 of everything.
Yeah, 15. No, 15 each. 15, 36, 15, 39, and then that's it.
Well, it was a very cool thing because I don't think anyone else did this, where you can literally walk in. They launch something at 10:30 in the morning, and then that evening you can go and buy it.
Yeah,
literally right there across the street. And I think that was super cool of them.
Usually we have to wait a bit longer for things to be released here. They come first in Europe or Switzerland, and then eventually they will come here a bit later. But this was really, really nice. So yeah, We had it at the day of release. I love that. So that's the Tudor way. And we have a picture of Martin wearing the 36mm Tudor in beige. Did you know that they only call it Dune White, but officially they call it beige?
I did not know that. I thought Dune White was the official name.
No, I was very surprised because in my German-speaking podcast, I was actually talking about this and thought, okay, that's nice, the new spirit of the Ranger. And see here,
beige.
It says actually beige as the official color.
Oh, that's terrible. I don't want it anymore.
In the explanation here that it's a Dune White. Yes, see, the Dune White dial. But actually, officially, it's called just beige.
Beige. Well, here's the thing about this. There's something that kind of I don't like, and that has turned me off from it.
Really? What?
Yes. This is still the old crown, the non-knurled crown, and I don't like that. If everything is moving forward and they're trying to get all the watches kind of looking the same in the same family, to release a brand new watch with the old crown, the old Black Bay crown, to me seems sloppy.
The old crown. I mean, first of all, it is, of course, the, how do you say that? The,
that's the new crown right
entry level, in-house
model.
Movement watch, right? It's the cheapest.
But all the Black
Bays
had that crown.
Yeah, but it's the cheapest Tudor watch with an in-house movement you can buy, I think.
So why not put a new crown on it?
I don't know.
And then you're in line with all the other new Tudors. It doesn't make much sense.
Is it the old crown?
All of them. The blue still has the old one.
So
and
the bronze and the chronograph still have
and the GMT still has the old one.
Yeah. Okay.
But I had the old one. The old one sucks. Like, it's a terrible crown. The new one's fantastic.
I had never any issues with my GMTs.
I just,
nor
it's a slippery
with my
crown.
black chronographs. They always were absolutely fine. I don't know. What's your problem with it?
I don't like it. And it looks funny.
I don't think it looks funny.
The new one looks so much better.
You can argue that it looks nicer because it has a bit more reflections, because it's not so small. The knurling is much bigger and has
and it's more domed as well. It's not just a cylinder.
So I'm with you. It's nicer looking, but functionality-wise, it was
it's the same. Yeah. Yes, but it's just strange to me why they wouldn't have pumped it out. But then when they did the new white opaline dial GMT as well, they didn't change it, right?
But you know why I like this watch so much? Because it just feels on the wrist, and that's one of the things that somebody else said in my discussions there as well. It feels like a Datejust on your wrist or an Oyster Perpetual, because it is the shape.
Feels like an Explorer.
Also like an Explorer, because it's also in any case same case, right? But my point is, it's like a Rolex. It feels so comfortable on your wrist. You have the T-Fit clasp with it. It just feels very nice on the wrist. It has the same wearing experience I felt like this. It is a bit simpler looking, obviously, but it is an amazing watch. And if you just want one watch with the so-called GADA watch or GADA watch, whatever you want to say,
100%.
Go anywhere, do anything, that's it.
So I really, really do like it. I don't know if I would. I have two issues, I should say, with this watch. Mm-hmm. One is the crown, but I think I could get over that. The second is I don't know which one I would get.
the white or the black, or the 36 or 39?
No, white or black. Obviously, I would get a 36. It is strange that they went from an all loomed dial.
Yeah.
So on the black one, everything is loomed. The numerals are loomed, and now you only have these tiny little loom pips. So that is kind of strange, but
then the black wouldn't be so black, right? You can make black loom, but it's always a bit of a doozy.
It's gonna suck, yeah. And on top of this, if you look back at what else, the white Speedmaster did the same thing. When the white Speedmaster came out, it did not have full batons. because they were black. So they had little Lume pips next to each one. So yeah, you're going to get less Lume, but it's how often do you have a white dial or like in this case, beige dial sports watch? It's fairly rare, which I really like. So if I were to get a 15% discount, I think it would be very hard. Or if the prices went down on this, I think it would be hard to pass on this one.
Yeah. So yeah, the Lume pips are something you have to like, but the hands at least have Lume, and that's good. Is your crown?
Ew, I hate this crown.
But it's I really enjoyed it, and I had this watch once, and I had to sell it eventually because something else came in that I wasn't anticipating so early, and then I needed the money, and I was like, I really enjoyed this watch so much, so I have to get it back one day, and I guess I'm going for the Dune White beige version.
But 39.
Yeah, 39 for me. Do you think? Even though I must say that I think the 36 looks just a bit more harmonious in size with the size of the hands and everything else. It just looks somewhat a bit more coherent. But for me, 39 is the way to go. Do you think this is another test bed for Rolex before they have a Polar Explorer 1?
Oh yeah. I've said this a lot of times. I think everything is tested out on Tudor first, and then a couple of years later you'll get something similar. Or sorry, test out in Tudor first, and then a couple of years later you get something similar. So we've
like
been begging for a Polar Dial Explorer 1, and this just shows that they're thinking about it. This has been something that everybody's been calling for like the last 15 years, and yet for some reason it has not come out.
Yeah. Let's see, because not everything happened, right? I mean, they had the Tudor Black Shield, full ceramic case. We have never seen that at Rolex.
Yeah, there's no Rolex in full. Maybe, who knows when it'll come, right? But we did have titanium first in Tudor.
We had it in Rolex. Black base ceramic as well, yes, of course. We had
then we had, the 70-hour movements. Rolex got that afterwards. So quite a few things. What?
I got it before. The 3-2 series of movements came but for Rolex first. Before
no, it didn't.
Them.
No, the first gen movements were already 70 hours from Tudor. The first in-house, the MT movements.
Yeah.
From
the
way
MT
back in
70.
2015. Yeah.
Yeah, but
so 70.
When did the 32 style movement come
2020, 5 years later.
No, that was already in the first Datejusts.
It was not. First Datejust was 2019.
Datejust for
4 days, 100%. 100%.
We ask GAI.
No, do not ask GAI because everything in AI is wrong, and it's been wrong. Just put in the reference number and say, when did the first 32 series movement come out for Rolex? Because I guarantee you it was 2019, 2018 minimum, right? And I think it could be after that. Let's see what they say. But I guarantee you that Rolex was many, many years behind.
2015.
Yeah. In what? Day-date 40?
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to call the Day-date 40 a viable competitor.
No, it's not a competitor, but the movement came out. They had 70 hours probably.
32, 35.
Then at 2017, they had put it in. Huh?
3255?
Yeah. Then if you
Rolex Power Reserve.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, 70 hours.
Yes.
3255. But okay, once again, this was still.
What I'm saying is that is the new standard, and they came, of course, directly with this standard. So if you look at the first 3230, I think that came out in 2020. You're right. That was for the Oyster Perpetuals and others, the no date version.
Apples to apples.
Then we had the 3235.
Sorry. Pause. It was not 2015.
Why not?
Because the North Flag had it before the Pelagos. When did the North Flag come out?
I think that was the first. The North Flag was also one of these.
That was the first one.
Yeah, that's true. The North Flag had even the Power Reserve indicator, which never came back in any other watch.
I know. And it had an open case back.
Yes.
It was apparently also. Oh, this is AI. Screw AI. Apparently 2015 as well.
Oh, see, yeah, but it doesn't matter really. It's the good thing is that usually Tudor tries materials, tries other things. Eventually, some of the stuff will make it into Rolex if it has proven to be solid enough and easy enough to work on. Because always, I mean, Rolex is, and this is one of the things I asked also some people like Roger Smith, who only produced 10, 20 watches. Was it 10 or 20? I don't know.
20,
one of these two.
20
watches a year. So I asked them, so if you
technically he doesn't produce them.
He and his team, of course, he has 4 watchmakers of 5
exactly.
or something. But
which I didn't know. I thought he made everything himself, but apparently no. There's a team of them.
He's also using. I mean, I talked about succession planning as well. So there's an interesting episode. Yes, you have to pass on your knowledge, and he is also very, very active in the British Clock and Watchmaking Association, right?
Yeah, he is.
That came from about 20 starting members or so to 125 now. So they are busy. There is a lot happening. There's a lot of people working in this industry, many more than when they started it. So they're bringing some kind of watchmaking back to Great Britain there. But
all right,
back
at
to
this
Rolex.
point, we still haven't gotten past Tudor.
What I wanted to say is Rolex has to be very careful when they have a new model coming out. They need to make sure that this doesn't have a high failure rate because they produce just so many of them. So if a watch has a fundamental flaw, it's a problem because they all will come back, and it's a lot of watches that come back and need to be serviced. Even somebody as small as Roger Smith, 20 pieces a year, has to consider that he needs resources in his workshop for servicing. Even though he said, actually, there is not much servicing we do because the watches are so perfect. Because we also talked about perfection and tolerances and all that
How
stuff.
about we leave that for the interview and we move on with our topic, because we're not going to finish today.
That's why Rolex doesn't do crazy things when they have a company where they can try things.
I think, honestly, it is true what you're saying, and that's why they put it in the day date first, because they're going to sell the least amount of day dates. Yeah.
See how it goes.
All right.
Also, the Lady Date just had the first silicone hairspring. Now it's getting into more and more and more
because
watches.
ladies
like
don't
the
care. That's the thing.
No, not well.
Most of them aren't even set.
Because smaller volume. So you see how it goes. You ramp up the production because it's very hard to produce silicone hairsprings. You cannot just produce 100,000.
In all fairness, my wife's watch right now could be losing 10 hours a day.
No, that's not a Lady
never
Datejust.
know. You would never know.
I mean, the Lady Datejust is a special.
I know what you're talking about. That's the 26 millimeter one. Yes,
only precious metal and stuff.
But I'm saying that at the end of the day, you wouldn't even know if it was broken.
Yeah,
because
a lot of ladies don't even
back.
set their Rolexes because they can't be bothered.
Yes, can't be bothered. All right,
so
moving on.
One of the nicest watches I've seen on the trade show, Chapek Parmigiani Fleurier, absolutely fantastic watches. Unfortunately, we couldn't interview Guido, the head of CEO of Parmigiani. We had a friend of ours come with his gold Parmigiani watch. I think this is a
Tonda,
and it has this button, the central button. I mean, look, these watches are insane.
It does something. The button, I know.
It has a central button, so to set, I think you press the button
it's
to set.
It's a monopulsar.
Yeah, and then do something else.
All right, we went to Louis Vuitton.
Yeah, I've taken a couple of pictures of Lady Breitlings just to see what's happening there. What do you think, Lady Breitlings?
I don't like them. Back to Louis Vuitton.
No. This comes later. That was just invitation. So they're nice, but they're exchangeable, right?
I don't care.
But I think I like them.
Honestly,
they're nice for ladies.
As we said, the only people that are going to be buying a 36 millimeter Lady Premier is going to be the dude that is buying a Navitimer, and he says, "Shit, I need to buy something for my wife, otherwise she's going to be pissed." And that's how
no.
A
Breitling has a very high rate of female buyers. I'm telling you, my wife has more Breitlings than I do.
I've never seen in my entire life a woman go into a Breitling.
For
boutique.
me, it's the opposite. I have seen a lot of ladies wearing Breitling watches, actually. And they're not. Yeah, it's
no,
true.
I was going to say, good thing
True.
I don't live
Lady
next to a
Breitling
Breitling boutique.
Huh?
It's a good thing I don't live next to a Breitling boutique. That's where you got to hang out, meet all the ladies.
No, but honestly, I've seen quite a lot of these. And then after that, we went to not to Pim's.
What is this Pim's? It's a cafe.
Yeah, it's a cafe.
We have one in Elaine, but it's nothing to do with the Pim's of
just wanted to let you know that there is the person in the Breguet shop making actually a roast turning dial right live in front of us. Look at that.
I believe you. When I came, this table was empty.
Okay.
And
maybe he needed a break. Who knows?
Yeah, I'm sure. Now, going back to Pim's, what is this Pim's Cafe? Is it anything to do with Pim's Cup? No, because I was asking this already. Yeah, and then you said the picture.
It's just because I took a picture of it.
Yeah, but what is it? Pim's Cafe.
It's a coffee shop, and that's the name.
But Pim's is an alcoholic beverage.
Pim with an apostrophe S, right?
Yes. Is this not the same? Is this different Pim's?
That's a Pim's without an apostrophe. It's just Pim's. Oh. So maybe it's just something else. Who knows? And also maybe it's not a trademark, so you're okay. Who knows? Then we have here a friend of us speaking to the CEO of Breguet, Mr. Kissling. It's very interesting conversation. What we also had is because this was the 75th anniversary of Siddiqui, and it was an anniversary for Dubai Watch Week as well, right? I think 10th Dubai Watch Week, was it? Not? I don't know. But there were a lot of special editions being made by the brands.
No, it's the 12th Dubai anniversary. Anniversary, but not the same number, right? Yeah. Because they started doing every 2 years. The first one was 2014. Right. So last year would have been 10th anniversary, but now it's technically 11th. So I don't know how they count it.
But there are a lot of special edition of watches. We saw a lot of interesting stuff. Again,
that was cool. We went to the Longines boutique and we saw the new Ultra Chron in 37 millimeters.
Yeah.
And it looked like a straight up vintage watch.
Super cool. And that is a 36,000 vibrations per hour fast high beat movement. Very nice. And really cool vintage look indeed. So then we tried the Tudor again.
And then Ralph paid 200 dirhams for parking.
Yes, I paid a lot of money for parking. Then I realized, by the way, the parking in front of Dubai Watch Week is free, right?
What?
Yeah, if you go into the Opera parking, if you're early enough, it's free.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah,
that would have been nice.
I was surprised. Then there was, of course, master classes. Some of the brands had in their own pavilions, had enough space to have their own master classes in their pavilions, right? For example, Gerald Charles said that. Then they had other areas where you could do master classes yourself. Also, again, this is free. You just have to register. If you get a registration, then you can go and have absolutely high-class watchmakers teach you things. Robert was there for A. Lange und Söhne, and he did a masterclass for A. Lange und Söhne there. I was super happy to see Richemont Group brands like Lange und Söhne attending a Siddiqui event because they're not distributed by Siddiqui. Fantastic. I'm seeing everybody comes together for Dubai Watch Week. What was absent was obviously the brands from the Swatch Group. They seem to not yet get in the boat, but maybe next time. Apparently, I heard this through the grapevine, so many of these brands, after Lange & Söhne came and exhibited on Dubai Watch Week, all the other Richemont brands are saying, we want to come as well. We CEOs of all the other Richemont brands were there, saw the event and said, we got to be here. Why are we not here? So it's good. I think next time it will be even bigger than that. Yeah, so lots of my friends were at the master classes and had a great time. My wife told me why she knew that the only reason why she knows John Mayer is because she knows that he was Jennifer Aniston had a liaison with him.
I think a lot of people did. Taylor Swift, and apparently my wife told me there's a new potential prospect.
Okay. It was such a lovely location. It was such a lovely time we had there.
In the shadow of the Burj Khalifa.
In the shadow. It was lovely. Tell me about
did
my
we talk
most
about this?
famous...
Did we talk about this? We didn't talk about this.
No, we did not talk about
We
this.
saw
My most
the solid gold
famous
G-Shock.
G-Shock, yeah.
It looked like just every other G-Shock, just heavier.
Yes, but if you see it in person, the gold has a different sheen. I know of course. It sounds really silly, but yes, a PVD coated or whatever diamond like if it's gold coated, or how do you say that? Is it not coated? It's
solid gold, or the
no,
PVD.
No, this one, but the gold one that I had.
This diamond like coating DLC.
Yeah, there is real gold on it, but it's just like a micron or two. So that means it's probably not even a cent or a fill, 2 fills of worth of gold on the watch. But a solid gold G-Shock is not only half a kilo of gold. I mean, it felt like it. Don't know if it was really half a kilo.
Yeah, but the price they were asking was ridiculous for a used.
Yeah,
for a used G-Shock. I think they wanted $180,000.
460, they said, huh?
No, dirhams.
Yeah.
No, 600,000 dirhams, I thought it was.
No, it was 460.
And it was $180,000.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous.
Yeah. It was not cheap, but it's the ultimate flex, I think, because nobody will see.
It's the quiet luxuriest of all quiet luxuries.
And there are 30 of them available, right?
35. 35 for 35 anniversary. And once again, you can wear it on the London Tube and nobody will say anything. And you will be the only one that knows you're wearing half a kilo of gold on you.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Fully exposed, like imagine in a t-shirt, and nobody will say a word.
Yeah.
All right. We need to move forward.
We are moving forward.
At a glacial pace.
Mr. Kari Voutilainen on the show. Then we had a panel discussion with, that was quite interesting, with Richard Bank and George Bamford, and of course, Misha Dowd from Harper's Bazaar. When Labubu
from Watch Fashionista, if you guys know who Watch Fashionista is.
Watch Fashionista, yeah, I know the Instagram account, yeah.
Yeah.
Then I looked at a few nice pieces that Dave from Scottish Watches was wearing. The nice Orage Caliber K2, the new one, the reversed one. We saw a very interesting
Moser, which we'll talk about later.
Yeah. We went over 2 time zones, I think, right? Did we?
No.
Did we go to time zones? No, we saw just Dave was double wristing, of course, or something like that, or Ricky was.
No, he was double wristing. A Moser and a Christopher Ward.
Yeah, and we saw this amazing Christopher Ward. Is not the Bel Canto. What is this? This is the
C12?
Loco is called.
Loco.
Loco.
Is it the C12 Loco?
Nah, I'm not so sure if it's called C12 Loco or just Loco. I have no idea, but it is a very well-made watch.
In orange.
He had the orange version, yeah. And it's just incredible of how good the quality of Christopher Ward is. I think Christopher Ward has the problem that with the direct distribution, that people here they're not exposed to Christopher Ward. You cannot try them anywhere. You don't see them very often. So I think that's a problem, because if people would see these watches more, and they were on time zones and exhibiting there, which is great, because I had a look at them, and I must say they are excellent. They're really, really high quality, very nice pieces to wear. And if you see how they made their own movements and all of stuff, it's incredible. Anyhow, different story. Then we went and watched Leica. So what does Leica do? Leica do cameras, optics, high precision stuff. They do, how does it call this? How do you call these things? These magnification, the
magnifying glasses.
No, the aiming things for hunters.
Scopes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
They do these scopes for hunters, for military, for other things. They do, of course, binoculars. They do cameras. And they also do watches, apparently. And that's one of the things that we learned. Ernst Leitz, the founder of Leica, was a trained watchmaker.
Yes,
and
exactly.
The fine mechanics that they use. And they're saying, actually, we measure time all the time because of the shutter speed. If we mechanically set a shutter speed of 1,000th of a second, it better be 1,000th of a second, right? So they have like 120 parts just in the shutter mechanism. And the measuring of that, because it's all set mechanically. So basically, it's not too far to go from mechanical photography
exactly.
to mechanical watches. It's pretty...
I don't know if this is, absolute BS or not, but this was in answer to a question, why would Leica make watches? I still don't get who's going to buy Leica watches.
I like it. I like a Leica.
Yeah, because you have a Leica. But
no,
would
I like
a non-Leica owner...
Honestly, I like the watches before I had a Leica camera. Seriously.
Who knows?
I like the brand.
Knows?
I think Leica as a brand is an aspirational brand because they're just so uncompromising in their way they are, right? And he explained of how the essential is so important for them. The essential part, das Wesentliche, as I said in German. Very good talk. Listen to it if you like. They're all on YouTube.
Yep.
Then we had a nice meeting with
Edouard Meylan.
And we went to the GP booth.
GP had a candy bar. Literally
yes,
bar full of candy, and you can just build your own candy kind of bowl, which is kind of nice.
The paper that
cup,
was
all I ate. Yeah. And I got so sugar high, it was ridiculous. My entire meal of the day was candy.
Yeah, so we had an automatic tourbillon, 3 bridges, where the bridges are white gold, the bezel is white gold, and it's a skeleton watch. I must say, seeing this here on my wrist, on the pictures that we're going through, it's probably for me the watch of the show.
Oh, really? I was going to say it's ugly.
Nah, it's the watch of the show.
I don't
For me, it was because I thought it's so pretty. I really enjoyed it.
It was like 600,000 dirhams or something ridiculous.
When the price is not important, that's what I thought. And then I had... whose hand is this? I took a picture with somebody.
This is the German guy. What's his name? Heinrich.
Heinrich, yes. I wanted to say like, oh, yes. Heinrich, yeah. Where he wore his jumbo. Very nice.
Yeah. No, I don't. Was it a jumbo?
No, is it not?
I think we asked him if it was a jumbo, and you said, no, it's thicker. So I don't know if it was actually a jumbo or not.
So maybe it's the 41 millimeter. Yeah, that's true. And my vachon. And then I met on one of the events in the evening, I met a lady.
Ooh.
Yeah, I met a lady and her husband. No, it's not. Ooh. And she was wearing a rose gold Patek World Timer. That's
which was pretty ridiculous.
Wow,
yeah,
it's lovely. And I met this person again 2 days later, and I remembered my name. Right, it was Ryan and his wife, by the way. Yeah, and then we saw at the Louis Vuitton event, we also saw an Egyptian watch.
Apparently those exist.
From one of the guests. Yeah. Waqtun, I think is the name of the brand. And it's pretty new. It has a bit of different design cues, a Moser-esque a bracelet and a shape and form that is just
but
different.
Anyway, point of story, we did go to the Louis Vuitton. There was a Louis Vuitton event. At the Louis Vuitton event, I saw 3 watches of interest. One, what was it that we tried on? The regular blue and white dial
tambour.
Tambour.
Yeah,
they made it in a ceramic now, which there was on Jean Arnaud's. No, it was not Jean Arnaud. It was his sidekick. I don't know who the guy was. The Asian guy. Who was he? Do you know?
No, I don't know.
He was like the designer or something, the lead designer of the Louis Vuitton watches. He was wearing a blue ceramic unreleased tambour.
Wow. No, I didn't see
and
that.
There was a brown ceramic. And the blue ceramic, and I did mention this to him, I said that I thought he was wearing the Zenith because it looked identical in same blue, which Zenith is a part of LVMH, no? Or no, is it
Zenith
a part of
is part of LVMH, same
It
as
is.
Hublot and
Which then this means, because then I wasn't too far off. My guess was, because it was the exact shade of Zenith blue. So I'm guessing they had a little bit of leftover extra materials and they made themselves a blue tambour.
yeah.
But the one that they released was brown, which was weird.
Well, it's also an interesting color to make. You have to always see that in ceramic, it's not easy. Some of the colors are very hard to make. So
Yeah.
you never know. Sometimes this is a flex, right? They come out with the hardest to make
brown,
color first. Or something.
along with I think it was rose gold or yellow gold. I'm not sure which one, but it went well with the gold that was on it. Then we saw the Jump Hour watch that they made, as well as the Pebble watch that they made, which I don't know the names of any of these.
Yeah, and of course they have two more brands that are launching next year, I think. I mean, or relaunching. I mean, to a higher extent as they already do. Gerald Genta and Daniel Roth.
Gerald Genta
and Daniel Roth.
Not to be confused with Gerald Charles.
No. The Gerald Genta brand is owned by Louis Vuitton, and they are relaunching the brand. And of course, as well with Daniel Roth, they are relaunching that, which is a part or owned by Bulgari, and they're taking it out there and then relaunching it. And now, of course, the Le Fabrique du Temps, we have to talk about that because this event was with the two granddaddies of watchmaking, one of the probably five best,
Mahmoud,
two of the best watchmakers in the world, Enrico Barbassini and Michel Navas, the heads
He's showing a picture of Mahmoud from our podcast.
I'm showing a picture of our two Egyptian friends here. Yes, of course.
Yeah.
But we have here a picture of Jean Arnaud and Heinrich and others. Somebody had a Vacheron Constantin Everest on the event.
What? Go back.
This is Maxi Gisik. Somebody wanted to
No,
have...
not that. Go back one more. Somebody had one? The titanium?
Yeah, the Everest, yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. That's very cool.
I know.
I didn't know it had a date window, though. That kind of ruins it for me.
Not for me. I wanted to swap, but he didn't want to swap.
Yeah,
I wonder why. My blue boutique only. Anyhow. So another day, another nice watch. This is the watch.
So at that point, I went home.
Yeah, you went home. And I had to replace you with a new sidekick, which was Heinrich. Sorry, it was Karl. Karl was with me. So
Karl will be apparently in some of the podcasts.
Some of the interviews he was there. Yeah.
Yeah, in the interviews. Sorry, as Ralph's sidekick, because of course I couldn't be there. But as we said, in the first day we recorded two interviews, one with Kari Voutilainen and then the other one with Edward Melon. Those I will be in, and then the next ones will be without me.
It will be without.
So they will be very,
Who is not there cannot talk.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was very relieving to have
privacy.
Nobody interrupting me all the time. So, yeah, we have seen this wonderful gentleman on the first day who came over at the Gérard Perregaux's booth. An American guy, super high energy, super nice, super friendly. And he said, I love your watch. That's the ceramic Laureato. Amazing. Can I see it? And I looked at him thinking, dude, he's double wristing two solid gold Patek Philippe.
Yeah,
like,
one Aquanaut.
Can I please see your watches? Thank you. And of course, we had a nice chat.
Did you tell him it was 30,000 dirhams?
I said I'm happy to swap, but he didn't want to. I have an idea why. But he had a Nautilus and an Aquanaut, right? So perpetual. Was it perpetual? No. Anyhow, it was crazy watches. People double wristing with solid gold Pateks. Yeah, and just saying.
They're both the dual times.
One is a
travel time,
and the other one is also
they're both travel time. Yeah, and this one has a power reserve up here.
And I went on to Laurent Ferrier because I had an interview with Robert Bailey. Looked at their new watches, and I must say, they are just so pretty, so simple, so elegant, but so detailed. did you know that nobody can make these kind of hands, or nobody copies these hands that much? Because I'm saying I thought that these hands are very, very elegant and I like them, right? And I said, yeah, because they're so thin, right, after the bulbous front, that you cannot laser cut them. You have to make it yourself. You have to stamp it in a specific stamp, and then you have to, cut it out and all of this stuff and polish it. So it's apparently very hard to make. And that's one of the things why they have it. Another thing that they do, this date window on the normal Laurent Ferriers that has this little sliding case from the middle. And you know why they do this? I didn't know, but of course, if you listen to the interview, we'll hear it. It's to just have more light in the date window, so there's no shadow.
Did you tell him I didn't like date windows?
Yeah, isn't that amazing? And also to give a counterbalance to the other side, it's really, really nice how they do this stuff. So Laurent Ferrier is for me one of the brands where I just have the highest respect, and I really want one. I really, really want one at some stage in my collection. But for that, I still have to go to work for a long time until I can do that.
Many moons.
Many moons, because it is pretty. They are very pretty. Yes. So again, I don't know how I ended up again at Gerard Perregaux. Then
was it because of the candy bar?
No, Safaras was taking such good care of me and gave me a nice coffee. Then I went to Tutima Glashütte, and I must say I was extremely surprised. It's a German brand from Glashütte. They were exhibiting, I think, for the first time at Dubai Watch Week. Have a relatively new CEO who just started in January this year, Herr Stotz, and he gave me a whole history and a very good interview about everything that Tutima does. And here's an Arabic version that they have done specifically for Siddiqui and for the Dubai Watch Week. And it's very, very pretty, very nice and green, guilloche dial. And there is, of course, an in-house movement in it. I mean, these guys have...
What's the price on this one?
High-polished titanium case. Not so sure. They are relatively affordable, to say that, but they're not cheap.
I thought they were affordable, and then I'm looking at this movement and thinking that doesn't look affordable.
I know they have some of these things. It's just insane. Like they are solid gold pieces with second stop and all of the stuff. I mean, their movements are amazing. That's the T659 movement, chronograph tempo stop movement. It is just insanity of what they have. Then they have they actually supply the German armed forces, the Bundeswehr. This watch is based on the 7750, right? So that's the Valjoux movement inside, but fully modified by Tutima and Glashütte to have a central second and central minute counter for the chronograph. That's good watchmaking. It's full titanium, of course.
It's a thick boy.
It is a thick boy because it's a mission timer. Yeah, it's for the armed forces. So you see on the other side, I don't know if you can see this, there's rubber-clad buttons for start and stop. The crown is recessed, so it can't bump into anything. Pretty cool. Then this watch is made of titanium, which you would never guess. It's like a chronograph watch from IWC. It looks IWC-ish, I would say, or inspired by pilot watch chronographs, right? But highly polished titanium, very nice to wear, very light. And pretty. I mean, very pretty watches. This is a minute repeater. Tutima does a very specific thing. They worked with the Fraunhofer Institute, and you might know the Fraunhofer Institute because you were in academia, but they did a lot of research for sound and all of this stuff. They developed MP3, for example. That's a Fraunhofer Institute development, the algorithm to compress music, to have the right sound and the nicest, pleasing sound for the minute repeater. This is a minute repeater coming from Tutima, which has a very special party trick. It is slow. And it's really interesting because if you push the button, and we have this, of course, in the interview, the sound of it, if you push the button, it just takes its time with the gongs, and you can really savor this. And it's a commitment too. So you're not just pressing it and you get the time ding, 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 dong, 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 bing, bing, and that's it. It is very slow, very deliberate, and very pretty, beautiful. Not pretty. It sounds very, very, very nice.
Interesting.
Yeah. And then we went on. So otherwise, Kalinic and Clays, I saw that was in time zones. It's also a German brand, 2 watchmakers. Is it what? German or Swiss? I think they're German. Does it say made in Germany? Yeah, Glashütte. Of course, they're German.
Glashütte, yeah.
I'm not informed. They will probably kill me now. Lovely 2 guys. They have now hired people. It's a 2-man shop, 2 watchmakers or 2 people who sat together and said, let's start a watch brand. And they made incredible watches. They now have more people. Sherpa watches. Okay, I'm going past the time zone watches because I think let's stick with
Dubai Watch Week.
Yeah. Then we went to one of the parties. There was Tudor. We got some refreshing drinks and had a party with all of my German visitors where there was Sascha, Marco and his wife and Karl, and it was really lovely. So yeah, we had a good time. And more Patek Philippe.
It's too many Pateks. That's the problem.
Too many Pateks.
I've realized there's way too many Pateks, and then we shouldn't get any.
Then we were joined by the watch pack. Yeah, we have Talat and Nico and Stefan and Salem coming over, and everybody was there. It was just lovely to see everybody. And then at some stage, I went to a Tag Heuer event. I don't know why this picture was just in the middle of it. Do you see this shot? You see actually quite a few Rolexes, right? I think we have 1, 2,
you
3,
traded, I see
4, and that's it. And then we have 1, 2. Oh no, sorry, 5 Rolexes. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 non-Rolexes. Yeah. So equal. But it was a Tudor event, So who knows? Maybe people just took their Rolexes out. So I went to the Tag Heuer press conference, and it was quite interesting. We had the CEO of Vaucher. We had the CEO of Tag Heuer, Antoine. And we had the technical director of watchmaking there, and we had the movement director for haute horlogerie, Carole Forestier Cassapi. So these 4 people, and Robert moderating it, these 4 people were actually giving a talk about the release of their new movement, a new watch, and their new collaboration, because they used Vaucher. What I found, and I say that in a lot of these interviews, what I found extremely positive for the industry is how open Tag Heuer is about their collaborations and movements. They're saying, look, Vaucher makes this movement for us. We couldn't make a movement like this for this price point because they have way more expertise and also more research and development facilities to actually spread the costs between multiple brands. If we only produce for ourselves, we cannot possibly have all of these research and development for so many movements. It takes a couple of millions for every watch movement to design. And then it might not even be better than another one, because that's the beauty of taking, let's say, off-the-shelf or manufacture movements from others. And they really celebrated this because Tag Heuer is a company that uses movements from Tudor and Kinesi, right? They use La Jouperet for their solargraph. They use Sellita AMT for their own co-developed movement. And then the normal Sellita movements that they have. Then they use Vaucher. And then they will use one that I forgot. Did they use Breitling? No, not Breitling. Anyhow, I think they have one more. But this is already 4 or 5 different movement suppliers. And that's amazing that they're so open and transparent about it. I mean, they do their own tourbillons and all of this stuff. And of course, they have their own chronograph movements that they developed. But they still...
So they say.
They still work with so many
For those
suppliers.
that don't know, apparently there was they said we developed fully in-house this chronograph movement. Turns out
that was 20 years ago when they did this with a 19...
It wasn't 20 years ago. It was like 10 years ago.
No, it was longer.
It was 10. About 2015, I think it was, when they put it in it was the caliber 18, I think, and they ended up being it was a caliber 01, right, whatever it was, and it was a Citizen Seiko Some kind of...
I don't know what it was, but it was licensed, right? That's
No. They paid for all of the...
No, they're licensed.
It was theirs. They bought the rights to it. So I don't think anyone else could make it anymore. And then they called it in-house.
Yeah. Anyhow, I think it was the O2 maybe. No, it's the CH.
No, the O2 was theirs. I think it was the O1.
Let me see. I think it was the 19 something that would never actually saw the light of day. It was never used, I think.
It was used. Mm-hmm. But then there was a huge pushback.
I don't know. Yeah, there was a pushback, of course, about this saying it was in-house. It wasn't really in-house. However, what the point is, nowadays, obviously, super transparent, super good.
1887, you're right. It's the 1887, which was a knockoff of the Seiko TC78.
It's not a knockoff. They licensed it, right? So
they purchased the intellectual property rights for it.
Yes, and then somebody said eventually
said it was fully in-house. Was the exact words they were using.
And did they make it in-house?
It wasn't developed in-house.
It wasn't developed, but they produced it. So yeah, obviously that's the murky area where you don't want to be in. And that's why they actually were way more transparent with all of the things they're doing now. So that's good that the industry doesn't have to be cloak and dagger anymore.
The 01 was the one that came out after it to move away from this 1887 fiasco.
Yes. So now we have all of these different TH20. I think that's the one from Kinesi.
So go to the 1887 and what did it say? 1887. What did it say?
Well, here it said, wait a second, Tag Heuer, 1887. It says nothing. It's just watches that use it, and then of course that are. It
doesn't say the
Caliber Heuer 01 is based on that design.
Anyway,
that was that was the 01 was launched in Baselworld
2015. Yeah, so I remember this one when this was launched as a retaliation to the issue with the 1887.
Anyhow, so they made it themselves.
Anywho.
So what I saw, one of the person next to me had a tote bag with him and it said, Dubai Watch Week 2025 Watch Time India Reader's Trip. Watch Time is a publication, a magazine, and that is worldwide available in different locations. And they obviously had a reader's trip to Dubai Watch Week. See how popular we are with the Dubai Watch Week here. It's amazing.
It is extremely, everyone was there.
Fantastic,
I mean, it was insanely popular.
It was really nice. And that's one of the new watches. And they used a completely new case. So this case is made out of one piece. And it's, of course, some kind of, I don't know if you can call it 3D printing, but it's a printed one where you use a laser to actually melt some powder. So it has to be done in a 45-degree angle, and technical director explained all of this stuff. So they have now a lot more freedom of how they actually can design cases and some partially also movements with this new technology. They use some lasers melting technology and all of this other stuff for the movement itself. It's a split-second chronograph.
All right, Ralph.
Crazy stuff from Tag Heuer.
We are 20 minutes over time, and you're still on day 3.
Yes, there was a lot to do. So friends of mine went again to see Michel Navas and Enrico Barbassini and had an absolute blast. These guys were so passionate and they showed so many lovely things. Then I went with my wife to Gérard Perregaux and she fell in love. Yeah, because, they were so nice. And she fell in love with a couple of these ladies' watches. They were very nice.
The Lady Laureato.
Yes, the Lady Laureato.
It does look good. I think it's a very good-looking watch when it's sized down. It looked good.
And then, without knowing, I bumped into a lovely lady as well. I can show that later. We went, of course, my wife visited with me after I had my interviews finished. So we went to Audemars Piguet together, looked at that. I looked at other watches as well. One of them was Chapek, right? Here, Chapek has a new jump hour. And funny enough, while I was standing there, we talked about it and he said what our watch does, what other watches don't have. We have Lume on the numerals. And then he said, thinking about it, actually the numbers are he wondered how useful this is, because the numbers that you are not seeing are hidden, right? So they don't get light.
Mm-hmm.
So how beneficial is the Lume when it can't be charged, right? It comes on. And
it comes on. But no, I'm guessing because it's your hours, right?
But anyhow, so
your hours are showing, so your hours are going to be there for an hour, and it only takes a few minutes to charge it up.
Yes, but I think this is the best jump hour watch I have seen because, and this is the loveliest thing about it, it has a button at 6 o'clock. So in the center it shows the hour, and on the bottom it shows the time. And then you press the button and it opens like a Hunter caseback, but on the front. And you can see all the mechanism, the discs and everything else happening underneath. And that's cool. So nice, because I always feel it's so stupid to just see so much metal covering up something that maybe you actually want to see, right? And they did it, and it's really nice. So Čapek, well done.
Frankly, I think it looks better open.
Yeah.
I think that's super cool.
It's really cool.
But, all right.
Anyhow, so that was that. And of course, I saw the Antarctique and the new Dubai Watch Week model. Then I went to Lange & Söhne and looked at the Auf-Up, 1815 Auf-Up. And my friend Carl needed advice because he's going to buy a Lange one. He wants to, but he doesn't know, should he do the black dial? Should he do the white dial? Should he have rose gold or yellow gold or white gold? And he doesn't know, and that's why I took a lot of
black dial honey gold.
Yeah, I think the gold is out for him because it's a bit too much for work, so he probably goes white. And then we went to Louis
white
Vuitton.
Gold is also good.
Tried the solid gold tambour, and it looks pretty good on him, huh? I think
I've tried the tambour and it looked pretty good on me too. I think it's a very
really good watch.
How much are they going for these days? Like they've tanked in price, so I'm very pleased with that.
You pre-owned. You can buy a steel version starting around 40,000 dirhams. In the mid 40s, you find them. They are new,
which is
about 80-ish, I think. And so you get them for a bit more than half price pre-owned. If you look, worn. It's not a new. Obviously it's a worn watch.
No, I don't mind as long as it comes with the awesome box. 33K I found.
Ooh, that's very good.
With the box.
Of course, this solid gold one. Did you know also this watch is the movement is fully designed by
Gerard Perregaux.
No, Le Fabrique du Temps, of course, Babassini and Navas, but it's made by Le Cercle de Horlogerie. Or something.
I thought you were going to say Cirque du Soleil.
Yeah, and that is the company that Speaker Marin is running. You know, there's not Speaker Marin itself, but the former Speaker Marin, the person with the name Speaker Marin. So really cool stuff. And they build it. And also they, again, Louis Vuitton, you know, Tag Heuer being part of Louis Vuitton as well. Very transparent, who does what and who designs what. And I think this is a direction coming from the top to just say, like, to hell with it, let's be transparent with everything because it's better for everybody. So we see that. Then of course we went to Omega, not from Dubai Watch Week, but they piggybacked on it, and we saw the new Planet Ocean. And on the hand, on the wrist,
we need to talk about this in a whole nother episode because I have so much to say about the Planet Ocean. I think they're awesome.
They look
and
amazing.
I hope that this is the direction they're going to go with a new, smaller Seamaster, because now the Planet Ocean is smaller than the outgoing S&P 300.
Yeah. So also what you see here is, for example, off-catalog pieces. We saw quite a few of these with baguette diamonds, Speedmasters, right? That was nice. Then, of course, the orange version of them. There's 36,000 with the bracelet. Here we saw a couple of these rainbows and others.
36,000 for the
Planet Ocean 600.
Yeah. A little bit much.
Very nice. So really, really lovely watches. And I think
that is all.
Yeah. Wait a second. Some other Speedmasters. What I wanted to show is one more Omega, because this one.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a chiming watch. It's not new. It came out a couple of years ago, but they have, for the first time, brought it out of the factory, basically. And it tours the world, basically. This is a chiming chronograph. So it's actually a minute repeater that tells the stopped time.
Hold on. We talked about this already. Do you recall? They made a Speedmaster chiming chronograph.
That's it.
But this is not a Speedmaster.
No, that is the chiming chronograph, the chrono chime.
No. They made a Speedmaster chiming chronograph. You don't remember this?
No, I don't remember that.
Yes. And they said it was the first time that a chiming mechanism has been put into a chronograph. We talked about
But this is it. This is the one. It's a master coaxial omega. I don't think we
This
see
is
the size.
using the same movement, but this is not a Speedmaster.
No, it's unless they call it a Speedmaster.
No way. No, we saw
Chrono chime number 1. So I don't recall that it even fits in a Speedmaster case.
So this is called the Omega Chrono Chime, and it is. I don't know what you're looking at, but this is not the Chrono Chime. I will send you the link in the chat. This is the correct one, the original one. And essentially, this was a Speedmaster with a chiming mechanism and a monopusher chronograph. And the movement is identical.
Yeah, but does it say the time, or does it say the stopwatch function?
It's the same movement as the one you're holding. If you look at the case back. Hold on. I see a picture of the other one. And it says the finish, blah, 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 blah. What is this one then?
So this is the caliber 1932. So it's the same for both versions of the chrono chime. Yeah, it's the same movement. Yes, you're right. This is the same movement because I can see that it is the same movement. Like this one here. See? Yeah.
But they're showing the one that you have as well. Correct. On this article. So I don't know what this is, how it relates to the two.
I don't know either. But the first is this is the Olympic 1932 chrono chime. That's the one that I had in my hand. I had it in my hand.
In my hand. All right. What else you got?
So what else did I get? This was basically, that was Omega, some
more
super
Omegas.
Cool ceramic versions. Speedmasters, really love them.
Parking lot.
Yeah, and then
who is this lady?
Who is this lady? Yeah. So this lady.
First, where were you when you met this lady?
In obviously in Van Cleef and Arpels. That's the romantic place to meet ladies.
The Kissing Bridge, remember from 2 years ago?
Yes. So I bumped into Louis, and obviously because I didn't pay much attention, I thought, he's here with his wife or girlfriend. So we chatted and we had a lot of fun, and we were just joking around. And she said, my name is, hello, I'm Alexia. And I thought, okay, great. And my wife made the joke, thank God for the one extra character so people don't, say your name and all the electronics come on. And she said, yeah, they always ask me for the weather, and all of these little jokes we did, right? So, and then turns out that's Alexia Genta, so Gerald Genta's daughter. So there you go.
It's so random. And you just, like, the fact is you didn't know and she didn't say, and I love the fact
and then
that
eventually we found out, and I thought, like, okay, now I have to be fanboy.
How did you find out?
Because somehow I think the person who was with her, that was Louis, is in charge of Gerald, the technical. He's in charge of Gerald Genta and Daniel Roth watches, not from a watchmaking perspective, just from a general management or so. And he then eventually dropped this. Her father is Gerald Genta, and I was like, oh, great, because I was wearing the Royal Oak Offshore Beast, the watch that he very famously
Genta
said,
hated.
You killed my design.
Yes. And what watch is she wearing?
She's wearing, I think, a new Genta. I don't know. I didn't even check. But my point is, I asked her, I said, was it really that bad? And she basically said, not really. It's over dramatized. He doesn't really care for what everybody else does. He just does his own thing. So he might not have liked it, but yeah, that's cool. It wasn't the death of him. Cool. He just said, you killed his watch. Yeah, and so on. And then I met people with FB Jones. That's the last day, with a chronometer centigraph. Just insane. That was CQ, right? Wearing this watch. Yeah, it is nice. Bumped into people. We had to wait because of the because of the run. We had a bit of a later opening of Dubai Watch Week. It opened only at 11:30, so we had a nice chat outside. yeah, a lovely time with this lovely Emirati gentleman and CQ. And so we spent our time looking at other watches. See, I met lots of new friends. This other gentleman was wearing his Patek Philippe World Timer here. So yeah, everybody was wearing just their A game to this show. Then we had David Condo, a watchmaker who made an incredible watch, and he had his hairspring out. A 3-meter long hairspring. Hairspring. A 3-meter long hairspring. And he made us pull it out really on the full length of 3 meters. And his watch has a power reserve of how much? And then
I don't know.
And then we stopped 41 days.
Jeez.
Because he put in the most massive hairspring you could imagine. And it is actually, single barrel, but this entirety, this is the back of the watch. And he said basically the entire back behind it is the hairspring because it's 3 meters and it's massive, it's big, right? So it fills out the entire
1,000 hours.
Yeah, 1,000 hours.
Which is ironic because if you recall, the JLCs do 1,000 hours of testing. That's it. And the power reserve of this is equivalent to all of the testing that JLC does on its watches.
Yeah. Anyhow, then everything else we do in the next episode.
Now, what do you mean everything else? There's nothing else.
No, there's still Norcane.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And all of these nice things that I saw there. They enjoy life. By the way,
I thought we finished.
Huh?
I was.
Is there more?
For
yes,
sure. There's nothing more you could have done.
Atelier Wen with a super tantalum bracelet, integrated bracelet watch, which was
okay. We finish now,
insane.
Ladies and gentlemen. We gave you short episode last week. Now you have long episode. So keep going. We finished.
Okay. So Norcane, I saw really cool watches, and of course they enjoy life with the ice cream cone. Every 7 days, you have the ice cream cone in it to just remind you to
have an ice cream.
And the story of how this watch was conceptualized and how this was designed is in the interview. We will hear that. No, that's a German interview. I did this in German. So anyhow, I will speak about it in the next episode then. And
well, then yeah.
Then I went to Atelier Wen and talked to Ignacio Tan, which is the brand manager, and it was amazing. I mean, their origin story, their guilloche dials is just amazing. Their new tantalum watch, made entirely out of tantalum with a Grand Feu enamel dial and a movement from Gérard-Perregaux that is exclusively made for them, based on an older design from Gérard-Perregaux, but fully customized. Micro-adjustable clasp from the outside, plenty of patents that they have pending at the moment. A beautiful watch comes in black, blue, and some other color that I forgot. Beautiful dial, which is very deep because of the enamel. It looks very wet. It just looks amazing. These watches, they can only make 100 a year because of the problems with machining tantalum. And you have to apply for it. You will have to go through a small interview process with the owners to see if you are worthy of getting one.
If you're worthy.
To spend the 26,000 Swiss francs on it. But it's worth it. Their normal watches are roughly $3,000, $4,000. And then they have this one, 36 millimeter, also with an incredibly interesting dial because they used also some enamel, transparent enamel, multiple layers, and scratched dial underneath. This is a special version for Dubai Watch Week, and together with Revolution, they made this watch. This runs on a Pekinier movement. Crazy stuff. I mean, really absolutely amazing stuff. That interview will come, and it's in English, so you will be able to hear it. Then Burj Khalifa, couple of Uhrwerk visits. Did you ever see the Uhrwerk mechanism flip over?
Yes, I've seen it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
The one that goes, it's nice.
Because they have, just put it in there with a sort of, what would you call it, with dampers and stuff, so that it can actually swing a bit too far, because otherwise if it would immediately stop, it would break, because that would be too much of, how do you say?
Too much torque?
Too much torque, yeah, exactly. And then that was it. That's just pictures of snow in Germany that my family shared with me. Yeah, so that was it. Wow. And I think this one is also one of the watches that I tried on, and I was so taken aback by the Norcane wild one with the meteoroid dial because it was so comfortable. You know, these watches that just hug your wrist, and that was one of them. And I asked, wow, the rubber strap, the caoutchouc strap is so nice and so comfortable to wear. And they said, yeah, it's from BV, obviously, BV, who make the straps for Richard Mille, for probably half a dozen other high-end brands. They are very close, they have a good relationship, and they make all of these rubber straps for Norqain. So no wonder they are so comfortable and high quality, because they're really, really good. So he talked about the Jean-Claude Biver and how much he's still engaged, because he's on the board, on the advisory board of Norqain, and he's also an investor in Norqain itself, and how much he's really supporting them still with advice and other things. So yeah, it was just such a lovely chat. Once I have revisited it, I will just give a summary to everybody. Yeah, so again, they have a bit more Tudor movements, because apparently people asked them to say, hey, where's the Kinesi movement? Because they did so many skeletonized versions of the wild one, which cannot be done with the Tudor movement because there's none available. So they have used the Selitas, which or AMT version from Selita, where they can actually have the skeletonized movements. So they made another one with the meteorite dial, also a very, very nice dial that came down somewhere. I have the details in the interview. It looks really, really nice, and of course has the 70-hour power reserve chronograph movement from Kinesi in the back. Really, really nice watch. And it has this super ceramic case, it's just insane. It's so, so comfortable. And you can I think you can even choose some of the colors. But this one in this burgundy, Bordeaux-ish color is really lovely. I really want it. I really like it. After wearing it, I thought, wow, it's
interesting color.
Yeah, and it's a color you usually don't see. And then you have this dark gray with a dark gray meteorite dial. It just feels really, really nice. So all my enthusiasm is gone. I am done with the world now. It was a blast. This Dubai Watch Week was absolutely amazing. I'm still processing a lot of what I saw. And now I have to process the audio files. And then we can get some of these interviews online for our dear listeners.
Sounds like a plan.
The other thing we need to do is go and watch all of these different talks, because some of these panel discussions are very interesting. Yeah. And I have opinions. We
can do episodes for each one of those kind of as we discuss.
Yes, exactly. We could. Cool beans.
Alrighty. Okay, I think that's it for today. I think we've done enough.
Yes, that was good. A long episode.
It was a very long episode.
And so enthusiastic, I hope you're not falling asleep.
It makes up for the 30-minute episode we did last time.
All right.
So,
excellent.
All right.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you for listening, and we will be back next week with our regularly scheduled broadcasts.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.